Greetings, all you very rare individuals. Welcome to the Afro-Scot podcast. This is episode 2. We're going to talk about why African parents don't encourage their child talents. First off, the reason why they don't encourage their child talents is because they're still in that same mindset of you have to be a doctor and an engineer in order to make it in life. And this actually stems from the fact that while growing up in Africa, there are certain countries where the only way you can really make it big is by becoming a doctor or engineer, or maybe you're in medicine or just anything to do with hospitality or taking care of people. That's really the only way you're gonna make money in Africa. So a lot of the African parents kind of force down the throats of the child that you have to be this, you have to be that, and you kind of like helicopter parents, not really encouraging the child's talents. So what happens is the child then ends up going into university completely confusing who they are, and they become open to a lot of influences and social pressure, peer pressure, in order to be somebody that they aren't. And it's very, very hard to say no when you don't know who you are. So while these guys are at university, they can either go two ways: either be completely confused about who they are and what they're in this world to do, and being dissatisfied by the course, or they can go the other way and be rebellious and decide to finally do what they want. We all know about the university student that as soon as they leave their parents' house, get their own dorm or maybe apartment, they completely change. I believe they didn't really change, it's just now they have the freedom to kind of take off their mask and be who they want to be. And how does it damages the child? Well, it really damages the child's self-confidence and self-esteem. Of course, we don't want them to be too narcissist or egocentric, but I believe that confidence and self-esteem is very, very important in living, especially as an adult or an adolescent or even a teenager or whatever. Very, very important, in order to go through and take risk and be bold and really go for what you want. And if the child doesn't really know who they are and have that self-awareness, that okay, these skills can get me somewhere, it makes it very difficult for the person to have any confidence in themselves. What you realize is those Africans who maybe they're fortunate to have parents who encourage their skills usually have the most confidence, they take the most risks, they're way more bold and happier. And how does this really affect them in the future? Well, it affects them in the future in a way that once these people reach maybe the age of 30 or 40, God forbid 50, these guys kind of hit a point where they realize they spent their whole life doing something they didn't really want to do, and it really, really damages themselves because they feel like they wasted so much time, and they end up wanting to do something else. But maybe some of them might become depressed because they realize that they spent so long doing what they don't want to do, and they might feel like they're in a career, they're at a disadvantage in their career. And the reason why African parents really push their kids to do these very conventional careers is because of the money. They're afraid that maybe the children won't be able to have money when they're older, or maybe there's no money there. And see if that you don't encourage these kids' talents, how will you know if there's any money there? A lot of Africans, not many of us are in the arts or into music or even athletes, and really, really well-known athletes. So if we don't have an example of somebody like that in the community, how are we gonna be able to know if we're gonna make money or not? If we're all into one sector, of course, then we're going to believe that this is the only place you're going to be able to make money. So how can this be fixed? Well, it can only be fixed by encouraging the kids' talents at a young age and seeing what they're good at and their skills, and also pushing them in that area to be who they want to be in order to gain that self-awareness.